Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Judiciary Possible. My name is Ayushi Dubey and currently I am covering the topics of Civil Procedure Code which are necessary for both prelims and mains. My focus is mostly on mains because prelims I assume everybody could do it. There are plenty of videos. The mains part are less focused on YouTube. So I am trying to help out you and me, both of us together. Okay, so in the series, in continuity with the series, today we will cover the topic of civil nature as per section 9 of the code. But before beginning with the video, I would like you to please like my video, subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. They are preparing for the university's examination or for the judiciary examination. It will be helpful for me and to you both. It will be a two-way relationship. Okay, so let's begin with the video. And before starting the video, I'll let you know that the civil nature topic has been asked in recent Uttar Pradesh mains examination for 20 marks. Okay, it was a little like 20 marks. It was divided in two parts. One was the plain explain civil nature, and the second part they gave 4 situations which we'll deal in the next video, whether it is 2 marks or 2.5 marks each, whether it is civil nature or not. Okay, so I'll make you write down certain list also, and for more you can refer to C.K. Takwani. I think it's a brilliant book. I refer to that book and I think it's a brilliant book to understand the concept. Okay, now we'll begin with the section of civil nature which has been stated in section 9 of the code. The civil code has jurisdiction to try all the cases, all the suits of civil nature unless it has been expressly barred or impliedly barred. Okay, civil court have jurisdiction to try all the suits, all the cases with respect to if it deals with the civil nature unless it has been expressly barred or impliedly barred. Okay, now expressly barred and impliedly barred are important because एक्सप्रेसली बार में स्टैट्यूट में पार्लियामेंट में या एक्ट में स्पेशली स्टेट रहता है कि जैसे इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रिब्यूनल है तो दो इट इज अ सिविल नेचर केस, दो इट इज अ सिविल केस, but it has been expressly barred to be tried by civil court, it is given its own tribunal. Okay, similarly with family law cases, though it is a civil nature case, it's a civil suit, but the family court deals with it. And what is impliedly barred, like limitation act, it has not been specifically stated but impliedly ki 3 years okay barred. Okay, so it deals with those things. Then we'll go with the explanation. Explanation 1, which is explain what is civil nature. Though it's a wide term and it's not confined to it, but still we'll go as per the section that right to office and right to profit, they both are civil nature cases. Okay, the explanation 2 has been added after 1976 amendment because there were some doubt and ambiguity whether the fees has to be attached to make it a civil nature case to the property in dispute or to the office attached. So the parliament made an amendment in 1976 and stated that the requisite of fees is not mandatory. It can be applied, it cannot be applied. Okay, the suit of civil nature, the principal question is for the determination of civil right and its enforcement. Okay, the second point which we have to understand is that the purely political and purely religious or purely caste questions are not the cases of civil nature, hence it has not been tried by the civil court. Okay, इट्स नॉट अ सिविल नेचर, वो सिविल नेचर की डेफिनेशन में नहीं आता है अगर वो प्योरली पॉलिटिकल क्वेश्चन से डील कर रहा है या प्योरली रिलीजियस क्वेश्चन से डील कर रहा है या प्योरली आपके कास्ट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन से डील कर रहा है. But the catch is here, but if it incidentally involves any 3 of these, or if it incidentally deals with one of the religious questions or one of the political question, then it is allowed, then it comes under the definition of civil nature. Incidentally word is important, purely questions नहीं involve होते हैं, but अगर वो incidentally involve हो जाता है then it is allowed. And this has been explained in the case of, write down the case name, PMA Metropolitan versus Moran, M-O-R-A-N, Moran. Mar, M-A-R, Mar. Marthoma, Moran, Marthoma. Okay, what is stated, I will dictate, you can write it down because it's important. That civil nature include religious matter where right to property or office is involved, irrespective whether fees is attached to the office or not. यहीं से निकल के आता है कि इंसिडेंटली इन्वॉल्व होता है तो ठीक है, इंसिडेंटली इन्वॉल्व नहीं होता है तो वो सिविल नेचर के डेफिनेशन में अंडर नहीं आता है. Also section 9 is a mandatory in nature. Section 9 is also mandatory in nature. Section 10 is also mandatory in nature, which deals with res sub judice, which will be our next video. And section 11 is also mandatory section, which will be dealt under section 11, which deals with res judicata. Okay, that it means, what does mandatory mean? That court shall not refuse to entertain suit unless it is barred expressly or impliedly. The presumption is always in favor of civil court. Okay, presumption हमेशा जो है फेवर में होगा सिविल कोर्ट के कि इनके पास jurisdiction है, unless obviously it is explicitly expressed or certainly expressed, certainly stated और certainly implied कि it is barred. अब मैं आपको कुछ इलस्ट्रेशन दे रही हूँ क्योंकि ये प्रीलिम्स में आ जाता है, ये स्टेटमेंट आ जाता है कि ये सिविल नेचर है, ये सिविल नेचर नहीं है. ओके, तो मैं इलस्ट्रेशन है कुछ मैं बोल रही हूँ, प्लीज़ राइट इट डाउन, क्योंकि ये ऐसे पूछ लेता है, 1 नंबर का होता है, आप 1 नंबर ऐसे ही गवा सकते हो अगर आपको ये नहीं पता हो. तो आई विल डिक्टेट 5 पॉइंट विच आर ऑफ सिविल नेचर एंड 5 पॉइंट विच आर नॉट ऑफ सिविल नेचर. ओके, राइट डाउन द हेडिंग इलस्ट्रेशन. सूट इन सिविल नेचर, जो सिविल नेचर के होते हैं. पहला, सूट रिलेटिंग टू राइट टू प्रॉपर्टी. सेकेंड, सूट रिलेटिंग टू वर्शिप, राइट टू वर्शिप. थर्ड, सूट रिलेटिंग टू टेकिंग आउट ऑफ रिलीजियस प्रोसेशन. फोर्थ, सूट रिलेटिंग टू राइट टू शेयर इन ऑफरिंग्स. फिफ्थ, suit for damages for civil wrong. Suit for damages for civil wrong. Right, one more. Suit for right to hereditary office. Suit for right to hereditary office. Okay. Now we'll come to suits which are not of civil nature. Okay. The first one is suit involving principally caste question. Second is suit involving purely religious right or ceremony. Purely religious rites or ceremony. RITES, rights. Okay. Suit for upholding mere dignity or honor. Suit for upholding mere dignity or honor. The fourth point is suit for recovery of voluntary payment or offering. Suit for recovery of voluntary payment or offering. The voluntary word is important. Okay. A suit against expulsion from the caste. Suit against expulsion from the caste. Okay, it is not a civil nature question. Okay, what about the rights of Pardanishi women? Please comment down whether you know whether the rights of Pardanishi women will come under civil nature or will not come under the civil nature. Okay, now who will decide? The civil court themselves decide whether they have the jurisdiction. They have inherent powers provided under section 151 of the code, whether they have the jurisdiction to try such cases or not, and it is always presumed in their favor unless obviously expressly bar और impliedly bar. हमेशा उनके फेवर में ही presumption होगा कि हाँ इनके पास है jurisdiction, and the burden of proof कि इनके पास नहीं है, इट विल बी ऑन द पर्सन जो क्लेम करेगा, जो ये बोलेगा कि इनके पास नहीं है, हु वांट्स टू आउट द जुरिडिक्शन. द बर्डन ऑफ प्रूफ विल बी शिफ्टेड ऑन हिम. द बर्डन ऑफ प्रूफ विल बी ऑन देम to prove that the court does not have jurisdiction unless and until then the jurisdiction is always in favor of the civil court. It is similar, the burden of proof is similar with respect to 101 and 102 section of Indian Evidence Act. Okay, Then one last and one of the most important cases covered under this topic is Dhulabhai versus State of Madhya Pradesh, Justice Hidayatullah. ओके, चीफ जस्टिस हिदायतुल्ला ने इसमें जजमेंट दिया था, धूलाबाई वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ मध्य प्रदेश. 3 पॉइंट्स बोले थे कि विच आर एक्सक्लूडेड फ्रॉम द सिविल नेचर. ठीक है, पहला है अगर कोई एडिक्वेट रेमेडी अवेलेबल है तो उसको हम एक्सक्लूड कर देंगे. अगर उसके प्रोविजन पे एक डाउट क्रिएटेड है कि ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है कि नहीं है, उसकी वैलिडिटी पे डाउट क्रिएटेड है या उसको अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल उस प्रोविजन को ऑलरेडी डिक्लेयर कर चुका गया है, तो वो एक्सक्लूडेड है. और अगर किसी पर्टिकुलर एक्ट या स्टैट्यूट को चैलेंज किया गया है एज अल्ट्रा वायरस, देन ऑल्सो सच एक्ट को हम सिविल सूट से एक्सक्लूड कर देंगे. ओके, राइट द 3 पॉइंट, जो 3 गाइडलाइन दी थी टू डिटरमाइन सिविल नेचर इन धूलाबाई वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ मध्य प्रदेश बाय जस्टिस हिदायतुल्ला. द फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज इफ एडिक्वेट रेमेडी इज अवेलेबल देन इट इज एक्सक्लूडेड. सेकेंड पॉइंट, challenge particular act or the statute as ultra virus. And the third is provisions unconstitutional or constitutionality of those provision is being challenged. Okay, I hope the video is helpful. I think this much is important to deal with the civil nature question. इससे ज़्यादा की ज़रूरत नहीं है. And also please refer to the book. If you have any doubt, write down the question in the comment section and I will try to make a video which refer mostly to your doubts if you have any. And the next topic that we'll cover will be res sub judice and then res sub judicata. Okay, I hope you like my video. If you like the video, then please do like, share and subscribe to my channel, which is Judiciary Possible, because we'll make it